Hello. Today I will be explaining how to use a database search function on a university library's databases. Today I'm going to be showing how to do this in Idaho State University's library system, as that is the university at which I teach at. So to begin, I go to the library's main website. This is isu.edu/library. And from here, you can see you have a number of different options. One really convenient tool is the OneSearch tool. This allows you to enter a simple search phrase and search for general research articles and databases and catalogs for specific things that might be related to what you're looking for. However, what I'm going to look at is going a little bit more in depth to search a specific database. Personally, I prefer EBSCOhost, and so that is going to be the one that I'm going to use for this demonstration. So you can either use the OneSearch or go down to here, go across here, select databases, and you're going to search through the number of databases that they have. The reason I like EBSCOhost is because it incorporates a lot of other databases and has a large variety of interdisciplinary research. Depending on what you're doing, you may want to use a different database, depending on your field or the topic that you're looking into. And so once I get here, I'm going to select EBSCOhost databases, and I'm going to click Go. And this is going to open a new tab where I can now begin using EBSCOhost. And here, because it gives us a number of different options again, I'm just going to go and click EBSCOhost databases. And it's going to ask which databases I want to select. As I mentioned, it incorporates a large number of other databases and aggregates them. So in this case, I'm just going to select all of them so I can cast my net wide and get a large variety of responses. Now it's going to take us to the general search engine to kind of index through all of these different books, journal articles, and more. And so it might be a little bit overwhelming, but it does give us a lot of different tools that we can use to search for research articles. And so what I always do is go into the advanced search, but I'm going to start with just a simple search so that you guys can see how this functions. So in this case, I am going to do effective leadership techniques. And I'm going to see what research has been done on effective leadership techniques, or I guess let's say effective leadership styles. And in this case, we can see just searching that gave us almost 1,500 different responses. Now, one of the things that is going to be really important is to change your search filters from newest to relevance. This will allow you to sort through articles that are more relevant to what you're looking at, rather than just what has been most recently published. And this is really important as you kind of specialize and as you kind of are narrowing down what you're looking at. So in this case, you can see the most relevant, there's a couple of dissertations or theses, and then there's a couple of different academic journal articles. Now, say 1,500 is a lot of different things to go through, and I don't particularly feel like reading a lot of dissertations or theses because that just takes a lot of time. And so we should narrow this down a little bit. And there are a couple different ways that we can narrow this down. The first is by limiting our different options. And so in this case, I'm only going to allow it to search if it can provide me a full copy of the text. In this case, a PDF download. I'm also going to limit it to peer-reviewed sources. This means that basically a group of leaders and editors in the field or for this specific journal are reviewing the articles and making sure that it is effective research. And so now that I've done that, you can see I've limited it down to about 500 options. And again, there are more ways to limit it, more ways to search. You can do it based on the source type, publication date, and more. But now let's actually start looking at some of these articles. So I'm going to do the effective dimension of leadership style for organizational performance, a conceptual study. And it looks like it has some kind of access issue, so I'm going to try again. And then it's loaded. Sometimes you just have to play around with it. It'll give random errors. You just got to go with it. And so we can see here is all of the information on this article, and it includes a short abstract, which basically tells the general summary of the article. And so you can read that briefly. You can see who wrote it, where it's from. In this case, it's the International Journal of Management, Accounting, and Economics, when it was published, the volume and issue number. You can also see what subjects it covers, the abstract, and where the authors work. Then I can click here and get a PDF full text, and this will download it. It will download, I won't open it up now, but it will download the journal article, and then I have a PDF copy of that download. I'm going to go back to the result list and click here to show you one other really helpful tool. And this is the Cite tool on the right-hand side. This will give you a number of different academic journal citations. And so here I use APA, and that is typically what a lot of organizations use outside of the AMA or other, but here APA is a pretty popular one. You can just copy and paste the reference citation. Now, one thing I will say is that you always need to double check this to make sure that it's correct, because occasionally it will have issues with things being improperly formatted or just not being quite right. And so always double check this, but it's usually a good place to start, and you can make adjustments from there. And for the purposes of any of my courses, if you're taking them, just this citation will be acceptable. Now, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth, but I don't want to get too fancy with things. If we go into the advanced search options, you can look, and there are a lot more different types of things that you can search and filter by. I'm not going to explain all of these because I would be here for quite a while, and that would make for quite a long video. But I want you to have the option to explore this in kind of whatever research you're doing eventually. But one other thing I want to highlight is the ability to select different types of search functions. So in this case, I think the generic is usually just a general all-text search or a keyword search. But I'm going to do an all-text search of effective leadership styles, but I could also search for this only being in the title, in the subject terms, the abstract, and so on. You can also filter or search through specific authors. So if you know an author and you know roughly the title, or if you know kind of what kind of research they do, you can search that more narrowly. Additionally, one thing as you're kind of getting things narrowed down a little bit more, you can also search, I think it's a keyword search, because when I search all text, it gives us more. But as you're getting things narrowed down a little bit more, you can use multiple search terms. And this is a really effective technique to kind of get at what you're looking for. So in addition to effective leadership styles, I might put in, say, software engineering to see if software engineering has more there's anything more specific to software engineering. So you can see here's leadership styles and their effect on the structure of communication response patterns among global virtual teams. So if we click on this, it looks like it is for specifically software engineering and remote workers. And so, we can see here it's specifically focused on global software development courses, or teams enrolled in global software development courses. And so you can look for things that are specific to your field or specific to different parts of whatever you're looking for. And you can also use this to just filter more in depth, particularly as you're kind of trying to problem solve more specific things. That is about it for kind of what I'm wanting to review in this video. But as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or leave a comment and let me know. Have a great rest of your day.